3, 2, 1.
Here we go! Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the HerdU Podcast. I'm Tessa.
And I'm Adam.
And we are excited you are here. Adam!
We're back.
We're back. How's your week going?
It's going good.
Yeah.
It's going good.
Birthday went well, everything.
Oh, man.
It was
Party
a lot
time.
of fun. I know. We finally cleaned up all the confetti in here because it was everywhere.
Like literally before we hit record, we cleaned it up.
Yeah.
Actually, Tessa did a lot of it.
We got the balloons out.
And I was probably super frustrated with us, even though she never said anything. But
No.
we'd come in here and we'd track it all over the admin
Everywhere.
building.
I have it like in my car. Like, how did I get confetti everywhere?
Yeah.
Hey, it is what it is,
And
right?
I guess Anastasia, when she went into my office and decorated it, she popped one, and it was the same one.
Yes.
So it's stuck to everything in my office too.
It was good times. Yeah, but I had a good birthday too, and Anna's birthday was actually Wednesday
Yes.
this week too. So we had it boom, boom, boom. So that's super cool.
Look at that.
I love October birthdays.
Yeah. Fall birthdays are always good.
I concur with that statement. So what have you been working on?
A lot of things. One main thing that we're working on getting integrated is the Raptor.
Okay.
Okay. So
Remind me what Raptor is. I know I should know.
So Raptor Technologies it's what a lot of the receptionists and secretaries use to scan people.
Oh, that's what we scan in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
cool.
you give them your ID, they scan you in. This for visitors, of course, employees. We have our badge. Well, I don't have mine. We're registered for it.
Our badges are over there.
But now we're doing it to where you can actually download an app.
Oh.
And you sign on through the app with our Google credentials, and that's really what I'm working on now. And so if there's an emergency in your classroom, you hit the button on that deal.
Oh, so that's what like those buttons are in the classroom with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So all that'll be integrated.
So that's a lot of responsibility, like making sure no one gets into that.
Yep.
Like it doesn't get pushed.
For sure.
Very cool.
And it's pretty neat the way it works. I don't know a whole lot of it. I'm working on the integration side where
we get the back end side of it. And sometimes don't get to see the cool side.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Maybe we can get Brian Hedrick, our director of security and services. He's in charge of that, but maybe we can get him on here and talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, for sure when you have him on.
Yep. But
awesome.
That's what I've been working on.
I like that. I've just been doing campus visits. Remind me, you said ID, and I'll have to tell my ID story.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I just been doing campus visits, but one that made me chuckle, and it has nothing to do with technology or teachers. I was out at TB last week, and it was like at that time where they start waking up from their naps, and there's this precious little girl who is still passed out snoring. Like, she did not want to wake up, and I'm like, oh, like, I want to take a nap. Like, so we're doing, I'm pointing over there because that's where it's located, but we get to redo the learning lounge, you know. And I really wish we could do nap pods. Not like I want to take a nap. Well, I do want to take a nap, but like just a cozy place where the lights aren't harsh, where you could like this little girl, she was snoring. All the kids were looking at her. I was like, oh, hers was sleepy.
That's my kind of classroom.
Yeah, I loved it. Anyway.
Yeah, I love naps.
Okay,
well, sometimes.
You don't like naps?
I do. I sometimes when they're not, like you just get up and you're like, I feel like I'm just mad at the world. You know what I mean? Like you got to really, it's got to be a short one.
No.
If I do like an hour or 2 hour nap,
you're done for.
Yeah.
The whole day's ruined. That's James. He's like a grizzly bear. Like he has to sleep for 5 hours. Yeah. Like it's no quick naps for him. Okay. I am not a cocky person. You know that. But if you could win an award for naps, I'm your girl.
You're it.
I love it. Like I love napping. I would do it every day if I could.
Yeah.
Every day. 15, 20 minutes. Whoop, nap.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would be an Olympian. I'm pretty sure I would.
So I feel like I'm missing out on a lot of stuff if I take a nap.
I really don't care.
Yeah.
Don't really care. Like that was on my birthday. Kyler's like, I really thought you'd want to take a nap for your birthday. I was like, I know, right? Kids know. The kids know. We do not bother mom during this time.
Hey, look at that.
Yeah, it's because I like the naps.
So how did James handle that when they were younger?
Well, my kids were nappers. Kyler was never a napper. But like now, like as they're older, James and Kai, they go golf.
Yeah.
And I'll go nap.
Yeah.
Tatum, she's a napper. So like that's our girl time. We'll nap. And then we'll be like, oh, how was your nap? It was great. Oh, I love it. Ooh. You know, like it's weird, but
it's
anyway,
cool.
So we really like naps.
That's cool. Hey.
Okay, so I got to share my funny story of my ID situation.
Okay. Hit us with it.
Okay, so licenses expire, obviously, duh, I knew that. But this one has been 5 years. So in the back of my head, I knew I needed to renew my license. So I thought I could do it online. Turns out you can only do it once online. Mm-hmm. Like, that's dumb. Like, just let us do it online, right? So anyways, so now I have to do it in person. Well, guess what that means? You need your birth certificate. Guess who was not born in Texas? This girl. It has been a disaster trying to get this. And so now I'm riding dirty. Well, not like with drugs, but like I'm riding illegally. Like my ID is expired and I'm terrified. Like the other day, Kyler doesn't, it's a big deal. Like if you're in my car, you get your seatbelt on. He's been slacking. And so I was actually picking him up from the high school. I was getting the golf kids. I was like, buckle up. There's a cop and I'm riding dirty. He's like, I was like, I'm going to go to jail. Yeah, I don't really think I'd go to jail. I think like, I don't know what happened, but hopefully my birth certificate comes in soon. And the thing that made me so mad was I had to scan my ID. And so they approve it. And then I get an email and it's like, your license will be expired soon. I'm like, that's why I'm doing this.
Like, I know this.
Like, I literally chose the drop down, and my reason is to renew license.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, because in Arizona, my license is still valid. It does not expire till 2047. Have I ever told you the story of my Arizona license?
No.
We're really squirreling here. I'm really sorry.
No, it's fine.
It's okay.
I got a little ID story.
Yeah. So we moved to Arizona. Tatum's like 3, right? And their DMVs are not like ours. Like, we might have like 2 people in ours. They have like 200 people. You get a ticket and it goes through the alphabet and it has like 50 numbers in each alphabet. It's a mess.
Wow.
And you pull it and I was like H42. I don't really remember. 3 hours with a 3-year-old. I packed one thing of snacks, and Tatum has been an amazing kid. Like, she's not like, she doesn't throw fits or whatever, but she was getting restless. Yeah. We didn't have iPads back then, like, right? No, so yeah. It was like, well, I literally had to entertain her. 3 hours. Okay, so it's my turn. I'm so excited. I finally get to go. And they print it off for you right there in Arizona. And so, like, you take your picture and then you leave with your ID that day. Oh,
really?
Yeah, because there's a million of you. Like,
yeah, for
you know, it's huge. So I get to the car and I'm thinking it's so cool, right? I'm like, oh my gosh, I have my Arizona license. And I start reading everything. It says I'm a male. It says sex M. I cried in the car because if I would have had to go back in, I would have had to grab another ticket and waited. I never changed it. It's still, like, to this day, it still says I'm a male. Yeah. So we moved back to Texas and that's the only ID I have. They thought it was a fake. And I was like, it's not a fake, scan it. And they're like, fake ID scan. I'm like, I am not a male. It was hilarious. Yeah, I refused to go back in.
So you
3 hours. T-Stowe, male. I was like, oh my gosh.
That is funny.
Yeah, so I mean now it's funny, but back then I cried. No, I cried in my car because then it was like a 45-minute drive to get back to my house in traffic, and I was done. I was like, there's just no thanks. No, thank you. No, thanks. So yeah.
So that's crazy that they printed like right on the spot.
Right on the spot, you get your license. And it doesn't expire till 2047.
Can we get Texas to get on board with that?
Texas is a little bit more.
They are.
Yeah, so that's why they thought it was fake. 1, it expired in 2047. And then 2, it said I was a male. It was really funny.
That's hilarious. So I have to get my driver's license renewed next year. So 2024. But the funny story about mine, so I renewed it online because is it every 4 years?
I think it's every 5 years.
5 years.
You can renew it online.
So I did it online the last time I did it. And then COVID happened and I had to do it again. And so I did it through online again. So they allowed me to do it twice.
Jealous.
And this time I tried to do it again and they said, nope, you gotta have to come in. So you're only allowed once, but because of COVID, I was able to do it through online on the line deal. Yep. So on my picture for my ID, I'm still wearing my previous work
how funny
jersey, and I don't have a beard.
Yeah,
like I just have a little goatee. Like
it's completely different.
Yeah, because I hadn't had to take a picture because every time I go, it's all online.
Yeah, James just redid his because our birthdays are on the same time, and like we moved back to Texas, so everything lines up, obviously together.
Yeah,
his picture is awful. Like I was like, And so he came home and he told me about it, and he's like, no, babe, like, you don't realize, because sometimes he takes things to an excess. Like, it's funny, we joke with him a lot, and he's like, it is so bad. It comes in, turns out it's so bad. So he puts his concealed handguns license in front of it. I'm like, dude, if you go to the school, that's what's on your ID badge.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? So funny. It looks like he's getting stunned by a stun gun. I was like, what were you doing? And he said, well, I was standing there, and then the flash went off, and the guy said, wait, we're going to do that again. So I'm still standing there thinking he's going to tell me. Like, it's worse. It's bad. I'm like, gosh. And then he can't renew it for another 5 years. But then if they let him do it online, then he'll have the same picture.
Yeah. Yep. True.
So anyway, we LOL'd at that. It came in. I laughed. Yeah. I laughed so hard. I was like, you were correct. It was really bad. So anyway.
That's funny. Yeah, so I wasn't even wearing glasses at the time.
Wow.
Like, I didn't have to.
They're going to go in and be like, this ain't the same person.
Yeah, so they look at it now whenever I, like, get on a plane, whatever. They'll look at it, and they're like, have to do the double take. Yeah. You know, I've aged a little bit. Listen,
I'm on a tight time frame. I'm really hoping this birth certificate comes in, because I fly out next week to go to Austin. So
yeah, I think they'll work.
As long as my birth certificate is in, and then I have other forms of ID, I think I'll be okay. But anyway, all right. Should we talk school stuff?
Yeah, sorry. We were just
alrighty. I know after last week's podcast, I'm like, let's just talk. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Stuff to talk about?
We will do school stuff. I promise.
For sure.
All right. So what's the new scoop?
New scoop. Here we go. I don't know if you guys have seen this.
My apologies for printing it. It's so teeny tiny.
You won't be able to. I don't know why I'm showing it to them. We won't be able. I can't see it from here.
That's my bad, guys. That's my bad.
Anywho, this went out to admins.
I feel like it went out to admins, but I could be completely wrong.
Okay, so if you haven't seen it or if you haven't heard of it, it's the who you're gonna call or email, and not Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
that's really what it says on there. So it's the 23-24. Really, it's kind of a list of who handles what and who you need to call, who you need to email. So it's a whole list. It includes the technology department, what we handle. So, like, I handle the email stuff, ClassLink website. Dana does the ClassLink rostering. So it's got a list of all your other things. Human Resources has got a list of what they do. Curriculum, DMAC, TEKS, Elevation, things like that. Business Office, Security, Student Services, Transportation, Special Education, Communication. So I'm not going to read all of them.
Perfect.
Those are all the departments, but on this list, we'll put a link.
Yeah, let's put a link to it. Admins, you can email that out too, because it's on a view only. So like nobody can really mess it up. There's only a few people that have admin rights to it, but we'll also link it just in case.
Yeah.
So why is that important?
So when you run into issues like we've noticed a lot, Aristotle's one.
Yeah.
So of course Tessa handles that. You guys might not know that. Well, you may not know because a lot of people are emailing all over the place.
Right.
So what happens is somebody will email me about Aristotle thinking I'm in charge of it.
Right.
Well, then I got to either forward that to Tessa or tell you, hey, this is Tessa's job. So by the time she gets it, all this time has lapsed.
For sure.
So we want it to be efficient to where things like that ClassLink are pretty important for us too. Of course, everything on this list is important, but to us, we don't want you to wait for any issues that you're having. So emailing us direct or emailing the person that you need to email on that list kind of
for sure
speeds up the process, streamlines everything.
Yeah, and I'll get calls all the time, and I don't mind. They're like, you always know who to direct us to, and I'm like, because I got the who you gonna call list. Like, I kind of know. But like Skyward is a question we get all the time, and we don't do anything with Skyward. So it just saves a step in your process. It's just one less thing that you have to do to get the information that you need. So
and it's super helpful because even I go to this list all the time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I get questions on other things, and I'm like, oh, maybe that's this person. No, turns out I look at the list and it's not. So it's really helpful for everybody.
I concur.
Yeah. So we'll link it here. Admins, feel free to share that with your staff. You might have already done it. we don't know where that's at on that stage, but we will list it. And
right.
It here.
Yeah, we just want to make sure everybody is aware of that because it's really a good list to have. Sure. And I know Dana's adding for like our receptionist, there's going to be a tab here in the next couple of weeks, maybe a month, that says coding, because they do a lot of different coding. And so that's going to be like another little cheat sheet that we definitely need to, like teachers, we're never going to use that, right? Yeah, like we're not going to do that. But for the admin side of it who uses that, that's a really great tool to have as well. So keep an eye out for that. I know Dana is working on that. So
great. That's awesome.
Awesome. All right, well, let's move on to Command S or Control S. Okay, so I'm going to share this story just because I'm not going to share the teacher's name, but like I've known her literally since I was 13 years old, okay? So she sends me a question, and it's a screenshot, which is amazing. But the tab right next to it says, how do you screenshot on a Mac? And so I was like, okay, so we need to talk about that. It was so cute. I was like, look at you go. I use Google for everything. But anyway, so some of us don't know how to screenshot. So on a Mac, I like using Shift Command 4. And what that does is it allows me to screenshot only what I need. So that's why I prefer that one. And then on Windows, it is Shift Window S. Yes. And it's going to black your screen out. And so it kind of freaks out for a little bit. And then you can drag it and screenshot what you want. So
and it's not a complete blackout, but it does go dark.
Like grayish.
It's kind of gray.
Yeah. So I screenshot things all the time. And so I don't know. I assumed a lot of people knew that. So I just want to share that as a tip that if you want to start screenshotting things, that's what you can do. Also, rename your screenshot, because if not, it's going to say screenshot and then the day that you did it. I can't remember whose computer I was looking at the other day that had like 32 screenshots. I'm like, how do you know what's what? Yeah. Like, what? So like just practice getting in the habit of that. And all you do on that is right click either on your dill or if you have a mouse, and then it will highlight it and you can rename it for what it is. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I like screenshots.
One thing to note is I think on the Mac, when you screenshot it, does it go to your downloads or do you have to designate where it goes? I forget.
Mine just kind of pops off to the side and then it just ends up on my desktop.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's the same for everybody.
And it could be. Okay. For Windows, however, it goes into your pictures. Okay. So if you go to your File Explorer, you go look for all your folders. Okay. So click on the pictures one, and then it's the one that says screenshots.
Okay. So I'm gonna make a confession. So last Thursday, I lead Bible study with Teresa Laura, and we did a really cool. It's from Mentimeter. I need to do a thing on that. I think maybe anyway. We'll talk about that later. Cool. I'll do a PD on that. But anyway, so I was doing that with my Bible study girls we were reading a verse and it was like, what stood out to you in this verse? And so it's a word cloud. And so anytime you do the answer, it automatically generates the word cloud. And the more times somebody says that, the bigger the word gets. So like we could see sovereignty, or like we could see never ending, like getting larger. So that stood out to a lot of people. So that's important, right? Anyway, I needed to screenshot that. I didn't know how to do it because I was on my Surface Pro. And I was like, what do I do? So I Googled it and it showed me how to do that. I couldn't find it. I did it and I was so proud of myself. And I was like, where did it go? So now I'm going to go look at my pictures. Because I was like, and I'll print it out for next week. I can't find it.
It's in your pictures, I guarantee.
Okay, so it's after we're finished with this, I'm going to go see if it's in my pictures.
So it may not, if you go to your pictures now and you haven't taken a screenshot, you may not have a screenshot folder. But once you take your first screenshot, it'll create a folder called screenshots. And then you go in there.
Listen, we're learning on the spot right now.
Yeah, and I think you can designate it to where you want it saved. Like if you want it to go to your desktop. Okay. You just got to go into your settings on your laptop or your computer.
And I'm just going to give everybody an FYI. And if you're like, I don't need to learn Windows, you do. Because I'm pretty sure next year, and I might be misstepping on this, I'm pretty sure high school is getting window machines. Yeah. I feel like that's been a conversation of 2024. So I don't know I don't know. So I'm just saying you should probably start paying attention to some of these Windows tips because it's coming.
Yeah. And even if it's not next year, then the year, it's coming.
I can't remember if we're purchasing it this year or if it's the following.
I think you're right.
I feel like it's coming sooner than we are all expecting.
I think you're right. So absolutely. Yeah. Learn all this. And it's always good to have knowledge on both sides.
Right.
I mean, technology is all over the place.
I know that some of our admin are rolling out Windows because I've seen them in your office and Window devices. Let me rephrase that.
Yes. So you guys will start.
It gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Admin's probably pretty soon.
Yeah.
Maybe by the time you watch this, you already have it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, that's why I travel with my Surface Pro, and I feel like a lost duck. I'm like, click.
So I
mean, the Google stuff still works.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously, because we're a Google district, that stuff still works. But like screenshotting, my armpits started sweating because I did not know what to do.
Yeah, it's learning something new, right? So it's tough. The hard part is when you have to work on both. So I still have my MacBook.
Yeah.
And I still have probably 80% on my full time on my Windows. But when I have to work on my Mac, I still try to do shortcuts. I'm a shortcut guy.
Yes, you are.
And I still try to do shortcuts on my Mac that doesn't work on my Windows and vice versa. So that's a little bit tough. But I think once you learn it,
we're going to be okay.
Yeah, it's not. And a lot of you guys have come from Windows, especially if you come from other districts, or even our district. I think previously. I mean, this is years past.
Yeah.
But we started with Windows, or you might have started in your other school districts with Windows. So it might not be as bad as. It's like riding a bike.
Yeah.
I think.
All right, I'm gonna believe you on that.
It's honestly, it's not as bad.
It'll be all right.
Change is good.
Okay.
Sometimes we struggle with change, but
all I know is the device looks super good.
They're nice,
man, and they're like lightweight, and it's pretty nice.
I don't know what I'm assuming the teachers will get something similar to that, but
I don't know. I know that's in discussion.
But these anything new is
fun.
Just slimming down, So they look really good.
Yeah, they do look good,
sleek.
All right. So. Well, I think that's all I have. Adam, what are you loving?
I am loving the holiday season foods, tamales.
Tamales,
to be exact. It's tamale season.
It is.
So
the workout girls at 5 a.m. this morning were talking about that. It's not just you, man. It's everybody.
We were really looking for some. Anastasia found a lady that was selling them just last week. Anywho, yes, that's this the food of the holiday season just is amazing. So, of course, grew up tamales and all that good stuff. Yeah.
So a couple of weeks ago, so we feed the volleyball girls. I'm talking about WT.
Yeah.
After the games, and so it was probably 3 weeks ago. One of the moms, they're from Mission, Texas, which is way down south, right? Like close to the border, stuff like that. Brought an entire pan of tamales, and Tatum was in heaven. She was like, "It feels like home." Like because they don't like. Canyon doesn't really serve tamales. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you're not getting that at the food court, or not food court, the CAF or whatever.
Yeah.
And so the mom brought it. Tay's like, "You think I could take some back to my dorm?" I was like, "I bet you could." Yeah. So for sure.
Hereford has really good tamale ladies or whatever. And I've been real fortunate. I mean, my mom makes tamales, of course, but everywhere we've gone and lived, and even where I grew up, there's always been some really good tamale makers, man. So anyways. Yeah,
we always have them at Christmas time.
Yeah,
that's when we typically have them.
So we do it, of course,
all the time.
Yeah. Our culture, it's pretty year round.
Yeah,
but this is the season where it really kicks off. So, November, December, it's to me it's tamale season.
Perfect. I like that.
Yeah,
awesome. All right, so I am loving my PD outside the box for November. Okay, listen, it's a little extra. I get it. Okay. But I'm so excited to deliver that to teachers in November.
Yeah.
Like,
are you going to tell them what it is, or are you not?
No.
Okay.
No.
So I've been watching her work on some of them.
Like, it's legit going to take me 3 weeks to make 400 of them because it's all handmade.
But it looks so good.
And some of you are going to throw it away in 2 seconds. Hopefully you scan the QR code and learn something new.
Right.
But I'm really excited. Like, I love doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
you're I'm excited about that. But yeah, like Dana walked in this morning and was like, "You're doing what?" I was like, "Are you mad at me?" And she was like, "No, I proved it, but it's gonna take a bit."
They look good. You guys will love it.
I hope you do.
Yeah,
it's made from the heart.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I want you to know she puts a lot of work into this stuff that she does for you guys. I walk by her office and I see like can I talk about the bubble wrap?
Yeah, that's already been passed out to everybody.
So the bubble wrap, that one was fun. I walked by there and I saw her with a roll of bubble. I was like, what is she doing? And then she told me that thing. I was like, that is amazing. That is smart.
Listen, everybody's like, do you have more? And I'm going to be a bubble wrap dealer. That's the only, I know I'm riding dirty, but I will have bubble wrap in the back. I'll be your dealer. For sure. I had I knew it was fun to pop, but I had no idea people would really like it like that. Yeah. It made me LOL. I was okay.
I say all that to say she puts a lot of time and work into this. So
well, thanks.
I think you guys.
I just want to create something different. You know what I mean? I don't know. There's just so much and we can't really get out of the classroom. So I just really hope with these PD outside the box, it's just something different. Yeah. I have other districts reach out and it's well, what did you do this month? Well, this is what and they're like, okay, that's cool. And so that or the egg hunt that we did that one year.
Yeah.
They loved it. Even Region 16 ended up doing that. So it's just, I don't know. I try to do something different every year. Because I'll just be honest, newsletters aren't cutting it. You know what I mean? So, they're great, but it's
yeah,
block. You know what I mean? so you can't block me. You can't. I'm coming in your classroom.
Yeah,
here you go.
I'm coming in. I got a key.
So anyway, but it's fun to get creative on that side of it and just kind of love on, what we talked about last week. Just love and celebrate others. Yeah. So I am very grateful to get to do that.
Yeah, and it's cool that other districts are reaching out because that lets you know that they're not doing that. You know what I mean? That you guys have something good here with what Tessa's doing.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Nobody's doing it. So.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
It's awesome.
It's a lot of fun. Good times. It's nice when you like what you're doing, right?
Yeah. So look out for that. It's going to be exciting.
It is. And some of you are going to be like, this was too much. But some of you are going to be like, oh my gosh, thank you. Yeah. So I'm excited for it. But anyway, I think that's all we have.
That's it.
So So just want to say thanks, guys, for joining us for another episode. And we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye, guys.